Well, we're late Mountain Time. We pushed it back 2 hours to be on time, and we didn't quite make it.
We kissed via
So
text.
it's 6:28 Eastern Time, 4:28 Mountain Time, 3:28 Pacific.
So until we report to an actual executive producer,
Yes,
we
we
can't
can
get in
make
trouble.
those changes. And since they don't print the TV guide anymore, do
Could
they
you
print the TV
imagine?
guide?
Do you know what a TV? I know what a TV guide is. Where's
What
my
was your-
kiss?
Sorry. What was your favorite part about the TV guide?
I didn't have a favorite part of it.
Didn't you do the crossword puzzle? TV guide
I don't
crossword
know,
puzzle?
I don't know if I did.
That was
I
like
remember it was a digest
that was the
size
easy. That was the easy
puzzle.
puzzle, as opposed to like the New York Times.
Well, you know the puzzle I like. What's my favorite puzzle
Jumble.
these days?
Oh,
No, I like
Sudoku.
Jumble. Yeah, I like Sudoku. So, anyways, we had 2 shivas this week. 2. One Sunday, one today. And may their memories be for a blessing. Bruce's brother, Terry's husband, Ken. What's Bruce's brother's name? Oh, shoot. I don't remember. See, and that's what this is all about, being remembered. So, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered, Robert?
Fondly.
Okay. Well, we met Kim and Bruce through a Valpak ad.
Right.
And
they hired us to do their
love story.
video.
And
Well, their wedding video.
Right, their wedding video.
package
They got the
they got.
package, right.
included the love.
And anyway, so Bruce is one of 3 boys.
Right.
And he's
Hey,
the
Rami.
middle. He's the middle.
Yeah.
Hey, Paula. And hey, Rami.
What else am I gonna-
And Bruce's brother was 60.
Yes.
And
he was.
and
he
his
was
parents are alive.
sick.
And his parents are alive.
Yes.
And he had cancer. And it's very sad when your,
Mails you.
parents, right, should,
Yes, it's not supposed to happen that way.
Right. And then, interestingly enough, not interestingly enough, but unfortunately, Alex had texted me on Tuesday about Ken, dying on the, and they shared it on the shuttle, which he was active part of the shuttle, being in town.
Right.
And
from it's the commuter shuttle which goes to the train station. So all local people from Livingston take the shuttle.
But Bruce and Kim, the Levine family, and Ken and Terry Lieberman and family were part of our Temple family. And even though we knew Kim and Bruce years before Temple Emmanuel, and our kids are the same, actually Jess and Scott and Lindsay are all class of 2012 in Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew each other both in the school system as well as in the temple. And we heard this morning that Rabbi Kaiserman had...
Which I kind of expected he would be.
Well, I would think so too, but I didn't know if they rejoined anywhere. So I didn't know if they had any other new
I don't
relationships.
think. I think
But-
even if they had, I think Mark would have been asked.
Well, what's really cool about Rabbi Kaiserman, he had a great relationship with all of the kids, very much so. And, we have maintained a relationship with Rabbi Kaiserman, and our kids have as well. And it is nice, and actually it came up today when we did the Shiva call. Peter had said, there is something nice about having...
Well, I think
clergy.
An officiant presiding over any kind of ceremony, whether it be a funeral, a wedding, a christening, a bar mitzvah, anything like that, carries a certain warmth and
Meaning.
sincerity
And meaning.
authenticity.
and personal.
If that officiant, if that clergy member has a relationship with the family or the person to whom they are conducting this ceremony.
So it's always so beautiful. I mean,
Rami knows that firsthand, being married to a cantor.
yes. And when we got to the Lieberman's house today to pay our respects. There was a very lovely photo montage
Yeah.
that was shared on the laptop through the years. And it was interesting. I overheard, well, I didn't overhear. I was part of listening to people sharing stories. And this one friend said, Ken really didn't like the beach. He didn't like he really didn't like the beach, but his whole family liked the beach. So we were always at the beach.
Right.
And I was looking at all the photos. He loved music, and he loved Disney, and he loved his family, and he loved his Temple family, and he loved Temple Emmanuel, and Terry, his wife, I've always liked. She works at the high school, and know the daughters and seen them through the years, and I find he was sick, and it was unfortunate. It's sad when people get sick, and their time is up. But these are two young men. I mean, Bruce's brother is 60, and I think Ken was 64.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's a good man, and he really cared. And he was always so nice to me. I didn't know Bruce's brothers much. Actually, Bruce's brother was never married with kids. Whereas, Ken was married 26 years with 2 daughters. And you talk about legacy. We've talked about legacy before.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also talked about being a guest at your own funeral, right? How do you put that, Robert?
Well, listen, I've documented a number of funeral services in my career. A few dozen, I would probably say, over the years. And I'm always, kind of amazed, right? Which I shouldn't be. Or I guess amazed is the wrong word, but impressed, right? By the accomplishments of people and the impact that some people make on other people's lives, right? And quite often, those sentiments about someone are expressed while that person is in a box at the front of the room. And it always seems to me a little...
Too late?
Just kind of like, it almost seems silly in a sense, right? That this is all done, and the person who's it's for is the only one that's not hearing it, So I get that it's meant to kind of comfort the family and all, but I think there should be some mechanism in place where, like, when you die, you kind of, and maybe this, like, happens, but I'm, like, speculating and hoping, like, this is how it goes. Like, you die, and then you kind of, like,
I love you too, Alex.
kind of hanging in a place, right? And get to, somehow you get, guess what? You get, this is a special secret seat that you get at your own funeral. You get to actually hear all that stuff. But listen, that's not really how it goes. So
but
it's
how
like,
it should go.
How it should go is like, you should get, 3 days notice. Hey, guess what? You're going to your funeral today. You're gone in 72 hours.
No. But wait a second. There's a better solution for that. Is I think that people...
Well, tell people how you feel about them while they can still absorb that.
So today, when it's really easy, the grind of every day that people go through is not always, like all lovey-dovey. And the thing is, I wish there was more lovey-dovey, because I think that people need to express how they feel about each other, and also on the things that that inspire you or that you're proud of. What?
Well, no, I'm saying I think I'm fortunate in yes, but I'm fortunate in my professional
as a documentarian
career, my professional career, to have met people through the years whose lives I've impacted or businesses I've impacted,
and they told you,
right? Who I've met on singular occasions, right? In which I guess that person realizes that, hey, I may not have this opportunity again. Let me express how I feel to this person, right? And I, in some ways, that's probably how, like, celebrities feel, right? Because in the wedding world, the wedding video world, for a few years there, I rode that celebrity in the wedding video world.
Yes.
Which is not a very big world, Okay. But in that world, right, like, when I would speak, there would be a whole crowd of people afterwards that want to thank me and say hello and shake my hand, and I'm a germaphobe, and that would freak me out. And
That's a footnote.
But when you, in retrospect, to hear like from people like, oh, what you're, the 30-minute edit or the retrospective, when you introduced it, it changed my business for me, and that's when I was really able to do this.
But if they didn't tell you that, you wouldn't have known that.
No, I mean, that's what I would hope the impact was. Like, I didn't do those things
for that reason.
Well, I did. I mean, I wanted it better. Like, it was the outcome that I wanted. I would have liked it to make me a little bit more money, but by and large, the impact I wanted to have on the industry, it had. And so that was good. So I get to experience that. But the many funeral services that I've been to, I'm going to guess that most of the accolades that were shared about the person who was in the box
were never said out loud.
Were never expressed
in
that way.
That's
to that
the
person.
message. So the thing is, this is twofold. Okay, one is I think that it's really important. Okay, and I know we've kind of said this in other times we've shared this.
It's like funny,
viewers.
Like what if I sent out to all my friends? I've been given 30 years to live. Only going to make it to 88.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to please eulogize me now, so I can hear
Why
it
don't
while
you try
I'm
that?
still
I think
alive.
that's a great idea. That'd be a nice idea.
And because it's
but
like,
I wish more people thought. But I think that more people need to be more conscientious and conscious of what they're doing on this planet right now.
Of course.
Okay?
But everyone always thinks I got time. I got time.
Right. And you never really know when your time is up.
I got time.
But the other thing about this, whether it be Shiva or paying respects or going to a wake or going to a funeral, okay, so everybody, I would have liked to go to the funeral this morning, but we already had something scheduled. It was weather. It was right. It was based right. I mean, it was time sensitive. Right. And it was
coordinated with other people.
Right.
It was a thing. It wasn't right.
I would have liked to reschedule, and sometimes that's possible. And
this wasn't one of those times.
Right. Hey, Patty, nice seeing you last night. So, right, it wasn't.
Nice seeing you any night.
What?
Nice seeing Patty any night.
That's true.
Not just last night.
That's true. That's true, Robert. She's a good lady.
Some people, it's just always nice to see.
Well, she is one of those people.
She's one of those people. It's always whenever I see Patty, I always like seeing Patty.
We hope that made your night because it's true. So, that's so nice that you just said that out loud.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So, so the other thing about with when someone passes away is that I think it's really important because sometimes you know about it and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you speak to someone and they're like, oh, so-and-so, whether it be a parent or someone else in their world that may have, they loved very much and they lost and you didn't know about it. And it's never too late, obviously, to send a card once you do know or pick up the phone. But, it's interesting, it takes a village sometimes. Like you want, there are certain people that you want to know. So I am grateful that Martha emailed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful that Alex commented and texted us. But on the other hand, I felt like, what is my responsibility? And yet there's no book again on that. But I felt like our Temple family
what do you mean?
was the
your
glue.
Responsibility in terms of
telling others.
Well,
no. So what?
Well, no. So in the past, right?
When we would tell you,
we get an email
from the temple. But now that our temple has been gone for a few years,
right. Whatever temple might have, but as it turns out, they didn't.
Well, Sinai did send something out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Terry said that Sinai did send something out.
I was probably at the request of like Andrew or something.
But yes, other members, right? Because he was beloved at our temple. He was a very active.
It was the only conduit, really, to reach out to whatever remaining temple members existed.
Well, that would be the connection with that because so many joined there.
Which is also really why they should have maintained the entire list.
So everybody in
from the
Emmanuel could be in the know.
For whatever few $100s more that would be for the year to house that list.
Correct.
So that if there was something like this, you wouldn't want to send that list, everything. But certainly, someone's passing that maybe
good and bad.
You have disconnected with, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It'd be a nice way to keep us connected.
What's the harm in you being on that list to say, we regret to inform you that, Ken
And it would be
has
nice for
passed
someone
away.
to be taken and to be in
course,
charge of that.
of course.
And
Hey, Lacey.
I bet you Andrew would have loved. He would have taken
Sure.
that very
Yeah,
nicely.
sure.
But you know what? The other thing is so who'd I call? So I'm thinking of my Temple family. But he had a really big connection with the men's club. He was on the board and
Yes.
other things, but
No, he was very active
very
with the
active
men's
with the men's club. So it would make sense that there would be some sort of connection, but not everyone is connected. Even though we live in town, doesn't mean we're connected. And the only other way, very often, is through the Westchester Tribune. There may be, a write up about something celebratory. Or
Well, there
not
was
so.
the Tap Into, I think.
What?
Had a death notice.
The obit for
It was. Yes, it wasn't a standard list obituary. It was a death notice.
Okay. Well, that's nice. So so the thing is, people come into your life, and they touch you, in whatever way. And I have to say, Ken he was very appreciative,
and
but he was also appreciative. Like he would say nice things to me,
Yeah.
like for what I was doing at Temple. That felt good.
He
Because he was very involved all the time. I wasn't.
Ken was a visible guy at Temple.
You know what Terry said?
And it was,
Which I don't think you heard.
What?
Terry, his wife, said, when you did that event for Rabbi Kaiserman,
Mm-hmm.
that was so fantastic. And I said, and you know what? It was.
farewell,
And it was
you
the
said?
beginning of our
Yeah.
deeper involvement
Uh-huh.
with Temple Emmanuel. Our children had experienced some great, education and social and other things at Temple that connected them. But our involvement came more from that farewell. So, be present. Tell people how you feel about them, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. I really hope you're all here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day.
Well, I'm a little concerned because we had 2 deaths and we know they come in threes.
Yes, and that was,
So
I was thinking of focusing on that.
like-
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
But my mother, it's like she always says, it's in threes.
You just hope that you're not the third.
And it's also young. Ken
Hurry and
is,
get those eulogies in.
Ken is buried with his parents now. And, that was something that mattered to Terry, for him to be with people he loves. This is, and I think it's really important at this kind of time is like to just let people know you're here for them. I mean, everyone has their go-to people. Everybody. Actually, she said Martha came and set everything up.
Not surprised.
So everyone needs a friend like Martha. But it is a beautiful thing when you go beyond, when you serve others from your heart. And that is a time, right now during Shiva, it's a time to kind of help take you away from the grief.
Right.
But when you're alone,
it's designed to
it's
have
hard.
a lot of people around you and keep you, kind of
Okay.
distracted in a sense.
Until you're
and
alone.
to not have to. Yeah,
Again.
that's the hardest part.
So, but
For sure.
I'm grateful to have you in my life, and I want you around for a long time, and I'll say that publicly.
It's never too late to eulogize me.
And
Well,
well, we
maybe.
talk about that too. I think that life is precious and life is fragile.
I think that we have done some remarkable things through our lives together.
And there's
I
a
don't
lot
know
more
how
to
much.
come.
I mean, I guess I accomplished things before us. I don't know how many memorable things, I impacted,
Yes.
in the past
Oh,
like
no,
that.
you
Well,
inspired.
before us, I mean, we
before
became
us?
a very
Well,
formidable
we're together a long
team,
time
and,
now. But
you
let's think
I
about.
think my most good has come while I'm with you.
That's so nice.
I do. I mean, I did a lot of good before, but I think my most good overall has been as
That's
part
a
of
very nice
you.
thing. But you know what? I think more importantly, I think that you as a documentarian, I mean, I have to say, there are so many moments of our lives from the moment you proposed to me. Actually, before that, on A Bit of Bayonne. From A Bit of Bayonne times.
We know
I know,
those
I
things
know,
are-
we got it, I know, yes.
Okay.
But from A Bit of Bayonne to you capturing our engagement, to the moments of our lives, through the years, I have to say that is, there may not be a lot of footage of you, but you've made our lives memorable because of that. And I do believe people remember those things because of photos and video.
I hope that...
And you've done it for your whole family, by the way. You've done it for everybody.
Well, listen, we've
both of our families.
We have, just so you know, right, I did, because we're, putting together that presentation thing, right? So
the deck. We're putting together a deck.
We have done over 500 live videos together. Because we've done a lot apart too, but so
together. I'm very proud of this.
Just think, right? If this lasts, and we're spreading these around, right? So hopefully one of them will last.
But if you go to YouTube,
our grandchildren and great grandchildren
can watch us and say, "You're right." Oh my God!
Watch, look, this is my grandparents.
So crazy. Oh my goodness! Could you imagine? First of all, I hope I become a grandmother and I'm alive to see that.
Well. But
I'm hoping.
You may be in the box, you may not be in the box.
I hope I'm not in the box. But I do know, you're right, that our children have something to show.
Yeah, I mean, listen, who knows?
And I hope we don't, I have to tell you, if you are my, so if you are my, if you are my grandchild or great-grandchild or great-great-grandchild, and you are watching this now, person. I love you. I hope that you are showing up with kindness, with love, and that I hope we're remembered. I mean, that's really what it's about.
Well, we will. If this
how cool would that be? So but you know what happens if everyone goes live? I mean, is there enough bandwidth for everyone to go live?
Yeah, of course. You go to Best Buy, you get another hard drive.
Well, I hope all of you just cherish and treasure those that you love
to see you last
most.
Night too.
He's such a good young man. I mean, we saw him 2 nights this week.
2 nights.
He was at the town council and at the town council debate. Which, by the way, just as a footnote, we did go last night. Why don't you just give that little summary?
Yeah, we went as good citizens of Livingston to the debate between Brandon Mindy and Michael Vieira, who are both running for the last year of the existing term of town council member.
Michael Vieira was actually appointed to take over Michael Silverman's position.
Right.
That's what. Right.
Right. He filled the position on appointment, and now there's an election for the last year of the 2 years that are left, and then next year, 2020, there will be an election for a full term.
For 2 people.
There'll be 2 seats open.
2 seats will be open
for 4 years.
So it's very interesting. I encourage you all to get involved with your towns, to kind of show up, to show up. I mean, there are no excuses.
And don't be a dick, unless your name is Dick.
Which is really short for Richard. And you are I'm going to end on this. Robert is not Bob, and he's not Bobby. He's occasionally a Rob from his family, meaning his biological family, and from this family, meaning me.
And high school.
They called you Rob? Yeah. But in Delaware, was Rob too? Was everyone Rob?
No.
Bruce calls you Rob. No, Bruce calls you Rob. So I'm trying to think. In Delaware, guys?
Yes, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so just so
you know. They were lazy. They couldn't say the whole name.
But I call Robert, not Robert.
And I think actually on the
not
composite.
Robbit, like a bobbit.
On my composite.
Your oh.
I think it was they
were Rob Ehrlich? No.
Did they?
Yeah. For the fraternity?
Actually, my my reunion, I think it said Rob.
So everybody, have a wonderful evening. Hug those that you love. Call someone, text someone, make a coffee meeting with someone, and tell them how much you care about them while they're here. That's my best message.
Right, because trying to tell them how you feel about them when they're not here, not as effective. It's true.
But I have to say, I do believe that loved ones appreciate hearing feelings, good feelings at least, about those that were part of their lives. I think it's a very raw than to have someone in your life and then to not have someone in your life. Like I don't even want to think about it.
Okay. So on that note.
Bye.